Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Beth and this is Spiral Path Arts. Today we're going to make an item to put on our Samhain altar. We're going to make a remembrance candle. The purpose of this candle is to light it when we're meditating and praying at our altars, and to use it as a focal point for those meditations while we bring to mind those loved ones who have passed through the veil to help us communicate and get in touch with them. For this project, you will need some kind of wax. I'm using beeswax pellets. You could grate an old candle. You could use paraffin wax, something like that. I happen to have this on hand because I use it for making salves and things like that in my apothecary. And a way to melt your wax safely. A double boiler. This happens to be a little craft melter made specifically for this purpose, that I can set the temperature so I don't let it get too hot, because wax can be very dangerous. It has a low, many waxes, especially like paraffin, have a pretty low flash point. So they can burst into flames if they are over too much heat. So a double boiler where you've got water and then something to put the wax in. I also suggest you put it in something like an old tin can or something like that, so you can just throw the whole thing away and not have to try to get wax out of any kind of saucepan or something that you would want to use for a different purpose. In addition to your wax and a way to melt your wax, you will need a pillar candle. Any size that you have, even like a small utility candle or a large pillar candle, a large, round candle, that could work too. And then your herbs. And I have rosemary, which has been harvested and drying on my counter for a day or two. And I'm just going to take the little bits here. You could use dried rosemary from your grocery store too. Use what you have access to. It's more about the intention than it is about the materials that you're using. Keep an eye on your wax. And you probably will want something to protect your work surface from any wax drips. This is just a grocery bag, paper grocery bag turned cut open flat. So I'm going to continue to pull apart the rosemary, but also mugwort. Now, why am I using these two herbs specifically? Well, rosemary for remembrance. This is a remembrance candle. We're using it on our altar and lighting it in memory of those who have passed through the veil. Mugwort is the witch's herb that helps us cross that veil more easily. It helps with dreams and visions and journeys. So a little bit of mugwort. Perhaps brew yourself a cup of mugwort tea while you work on this project and sip it as you think about your ancestors. Now you can also, if you would like, to make a specific remembrance candle for a specific person or loved one, You could take some small slips of paper and write their names on that and attach that to the candle with wax as well. I am going to use my wicker man for that purpose, so I am not doing that on this candle. And I guess you could say that I have been fortunate enough that I have not lost anyone this year. Okay, once your wax has melted, you're going to take your candle, and if your wax container is large enough to just dip the candle in it. But I'm going to get some hot melted wax on here and then roll it in the herbs. And my wax is kind of cooling before I'm getting it in the herbs. So we may have to come up with a different tactic. That's working. We'll spoon some wax, drizzle some herbs. Ooh, that is a little hot. Then more wax. And continue your way up the candle. I am going to leave some space at the top of my candle without any herb on it, just as a fire precaution. But also when you are burning this candle, as it gets near these dried herbs, keep a very close eye on it. Do not leave it unattended, because that is a huge fire safety hazard. And I would say that if you buy candles that already have herbs attached or embedded, sometimes you'll see like the jar candles with herbs in them and sprinkled on top. Be very, very, very careful with those, because sometimes I think some candle makers are going more for aesthetic than they are usefulness and safety. Just be careful. So this is probably not a candle, saying all that about candle safety, that I will let burn all the way down. I am going to light it on Samhain night, and perhaps when I'm doing some other ancestral work and where I can really keep an eye on it, and then snuff it out, because I wouldn't want it to cause any other issues, especially since I do also have a stick wicker man on my altar that would be sitting right near this. So 2 flammable sources, probably not the wisest thing to have them be where there's open flame and unattended. Okay, turn that off. I hope you enjoyed that project. It was very fun to make. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. If you are new here and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And if you have some friends that you think might be interested in what I'm doing here, please share this video or any of the other videos. And we will see you tomorrow.